Okay, if I lunge towards you guys, it is because you are balanced. Just, yeah, this is dangerous. Anyway guys, hi, welcome back to the welcome back to the rental Reno videos, the rental Reno vlogs. We're back and we're starting officially work on the primary bedroom makeover. Thank you to everyone who watched my last video. I know it was a bit of a throwaway video. It was a lot of talking, a lot of explanation, not much doing. But now we are starting to do stuff. This is going to be the one for you guys who really want to see some transformations happen. I am in literally old stuff that is like painting gear, ready to get going on this project. So we're starting with the walls. I'll give you a quick tour and tell you what you're doing, but we are going to be doing a DIY beadboard effect on the walls. We're not doing the whole space because part of it is going to get covered up, and that's a future Elle's problem when we move out as to what she's going to do with that stuff later. But we are going to do what will be on show. We're not going to full way, we're going to go halfway with a nice little trim. We're still deciding on colour to this moment as I'm filming. We've got two behind me but you can't see them on camera. Choices to go with. I still don't know which one we're going to go with. I'm going to have to go on Instagram and hope that somebody helps sway my position before I go to the DIY store to pick up the paint. So that's what we're doing today. Let me show you what space we're working with if this is your first time seeing the primary bedroom, what the plan is in terms of where we're going with all this stuff, and then let me show you all the equipment that we're going to be working with. Okay, so this is the primary bedroom. The bed usually doesn't float in the middle of the room. It's so heavy. I had to have it moved last night, otherwise I was not going to be able to do it myself in time for doing this renovation. So this is the space we are dealing with. So as you can see, we're going to be doing this bit here. We're starting here. We're going to go up to there, all the way across, hopefully in a straight line, all the way across, all the way across, all the way across, all the way across to here. Then we're going to get to, hello, paint gear. We're going to get to this chimney breast, which I have decided to do fully beadboard. The reason why I've decided to do fully beadboard is because I think it looks weird when the chimney breast has like the trim, personally to me. And I saw a picture. If I can find the picture, I will put it up on the screen now, where someone did it where it was literally half kind of around the walls and then a full exposed kind of beadboard situation on the chimney breast, and I really liked it. So that is what we're going to do today. We're not going to do this section of the wall because this is going to get hidden behind wardrobes. I'm going to try and get the wallpaper as much as possible down that side. I don't think it's going to happen. I've already kind of spoiled what we're going to do in terms of the beadboard effect, but this is the space we're working with. In terms of colours, we have these two bad boys. So these are both Farrow & Ball testers. One of them obviously needs another coat, but I'm already getting a sense of what the colour is anyway. This is Clark Green on the right, and this is Lichen. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. In all honesty, I don't know, because I mean, Clark Green is incredibly bold for me. That's terrifying. But this one is quite nice. It's still terrifying to me because it's a colour. Also, it's more of a grey, which scares me because, as you can see, this room is north facing. It gets a lot of like cold blue light. I don't really want to enhance the blue light in here. I want to keep it warm. But I feel like there is a bit of warmth in there. Like there's a touch of warmth. So I really don't know. I am going to have to get a vote on this. Also, this is embarrassing. You can see where the headboard was. Honestly, as well, we were cleaning behind the back of the bed, and let me tell you, that is not something you want to be doing at night or ever. You really just want to live in denial when it comes to the back of your bed. But yeah, colour should be decided. Well, has to be decided, but you know, by the time we come to paint tomorrow. So yeah, that is what we're dealing with for this space. Oh, hello you. Oh, be careful, tripod of doom. Okay, can you see me, guys? I'm really sorry about the light in here. I will turn the lamp on very, very soon. In fact, let me turn the lamp on now. Is this somewhat better? I look orange in this light. Okay, we're just gonna deal with this because this is a little bit better. Can you tell we're in autumn, winter time now? Because this is what happens when I film during this time of the year. Anywho, as I said, that's the space of the room. That's the plan for it. We're gonna start at the door, and make our way around. We are using this bad boy. So with beadboard, you can use like 2 types of materials. The most common one, and the one that is most popular, is the actual beadboard boards. They're like wooden boards already made into the effect of beadboard, and you simply either glue them onto the wall or you brad nail them in. It's expensive. That's the problem with it. It's robust, sturdy, will last a lifeline, but it's expensive. Not something I want to spend in this space. So I have gone with this Wall Doctor Special Effects beadboard wallpaper. Now this wallpaper is weird. It's like spongy. It's definitely not something I would use in a high traffic area. So places like the kitchen, where I would kind of want to look into doing beadboard in that space, I wouldn't use it there because it is, yeah, it's gonna get damaged. Like when this was out on the roll in my DIY store, so you could like rip off a sample to go and test it and stuff, there was a lot of people like scrapes in there, dents, indentations. Because we don't really hang out in our primary bedroom, it is literally sleep and get ready situation. We really just live downstairs. I think this will be perfect for down here as a cost-effective measure. Oh, are you trying to join in more conversation? But yeah, it's a cost-effective measure for this space because it's not a high traffic area. However, I would say if this was my forever home, I definitely would do a bedroom in beadboard, if that makes sense. But for now, as a rental situation, which this is not a renter friendly situation, this is permanent, but we're going with it. This is a good solution to just sprucing up the space and making it look a lot more character, a lot more homely. So that is the main wallpaper we're going to be dealing with today. I also have this bad boy, which if I come up close and hopefully you can see it, this is just a bit of decorative pine. So the idea being like when we put it on the walls, it will go across like this and just be a nice little trim to finish off the edge. I went with this rather than doing like a shelf situation because I just wanted something very slim but decorative, and this is very like in character with like a Victorian home. So excited to use that. Obviously you need to pick up some more, but I just wanted to see how it looked with the paper before I committed to more strips of it. I also need to look at getting a tool. I'm hoping if I go to the bigger DIY store near me, they will have the tool, but it's essentially a hand tool that cuts these kind of thinner pieces of material, of wood. I've seen a lot of DIY users use it and rave about it, so I really want to pick one up. If not, I can pick one up tomorrow on Amazon. It just will push everything back slightly, but that is okay. So yeah, that is the plan. We are starting with the wallpaper first. I've got my laser level to help me get everything, you know, nice and straight, because God, we can't go wrong with making this straight in this room, otherwise it's just going to be upsetting. I'm gonna go and make the paste now, and we are gonna get started on this space. If you can see me, there we go. I am so excited to make over this space. Okay, first initial thoughts. I'm obsessed. Look at just that small bit and what it's brought to this space. Like, oh my God, this is gonna look incredible when it's in a color, if I can ever decide on a color. I will say, this wallpaper is not for beginners. It's hard to use because it's like a hybrid between not being a vinyl, but not being like a traditional wallpaper. It's somewhat easy to put on, I will say. I'm using paste the wall paste, which God, I will never go back to traditional paste because this is so much easier, especially when you're dealing with a room and I don't have space to like lay out the paper and everything like that. It is hard to cut. I've used my Stanley knife because it's the easiest thing to kind of get into the edges and stuff like that. You can see though, like I rushed it a little bit at the end there. and I tore the corner. Thankfully, it is somewhere where I don't think anyone but me will notice, and once I paint it, it will blend in. But it is kind of fiddly. You have to be really careful with it. I can see little marks just where I've kind of put it up. It feels like it's got air bubbles in it, but it's quite forgiving of air bubbles. Again, I think also these walls, this light switch is like on an angle, which is great. So it's like trying to get it level with the wall, but the wall isn't level, everything else is not quite straight. The beauty of old houses. So I think just in general though, as a bit of a concealer to the walls themselves and adding just a bit of texture, I just think it's incredible, and I'm so happy I started this project. So on to the next one. I've got the laser level up. My idea is if I grab my wooden stick, 1 second. Here we go. This is gonna be incredibly hard one-handed, but I'm going to put the bar there. So it's gonna be hard. I'm trying to get the level where I'm like, okay, that's where I want the paper to go, and this is gonna basically stick onto the wall and the paper. So that's gonna sit like that there. So that's the effect we're kind of going for. So the level laser that I've got on my tripod over here, hopefully that doesn't, kill you, is just giving me a base idea. Obviously it's not gonna be 100%, but the beauty of having trim is we're going to hide most of it. So I've already taken out one of the bedside tables there. I'm gonna just take all these pictures off the wall. It's gonna give you an idea where it's gonna come up to, which is a nice level, personally for me. Gonna have to take the mirror off as well, take that one out. So yeah, I'm going to do a bit of maintenance and then carry on. So start with this kind of corner here first. I wonder if I do have enough with this sort of strip, or actually is it even worth just starting I'm going to just start a fresh roll on that and just turn it around the corner. That's going to be the hardest thing, just for that one little corner, of how do I make it look like realistic beadboard when the beadboard goes around the corner. I feel like that's just going to be a me problem. No one else is actually going to care about these things but me. Anywho, let me get all this set up and let's get cracking on. Okay, I officially hit the end of roll one. I do have a few pieces left over. This is like literally the end of it. It's just too short to put on the wall. This is a piece that I actually cut incorrectly. It was too short. But as you can see here, I have the ledge. So I think these two pieces will be perfect for there. So far, I don't actually officially know in sort of like square footage how far I've got. But I mean, I've got to a decent part of like over halfway on this wall. With very little offcuts, if I may be honest. Maybe yes, I could have cut it a bit closer to the skating board, but I really wanted to have more than I needed. I have three rolls, 2 rolls left. The other one's over there and the other one's downstairs. I reckon the second roll, the second roll should at least get me to the corner there. Maybe further, but I'm now thinking like this is 2.5 meters tall, this chimney breast. I might need another roll to cover that, but we shall see. We've got time. What time am I on at the moment? Okay, Okay, I'm at 11 o'clock, just gone past 11. So I'm going to complete up to the corner bit there, just because I do have an appointment to go to. But I say I've been working at this for maybe an hour-ish, and we've done fairly decent, I would say. So I'm happy with where we've got to as a result. It is easier on the more straight bits, like these last 2 panels took me no time at all because it was literally just straight. Oh, that's all the dogs, which means Dash's dog water is about to come through the door and get him. But yeah, it's fairly easy to do and stuff. Like cutting around that was actually easier than I expected. But yeah, when you're kind of maneuvering around these corners and everything like that, it's a bit tricky to manage. It's a bit difficult, but when you're doing straight, it's like vroom, vroom, like get it on and dust. So I'm hoping once I get past these bits where those 2 boxes are, I'll be like all the way across there and whatnot. So yeah, like I said, I've paced that bit of the wall, so I'm going to get as far as to where that end strip will take me. Hopefully it will take me to the end of the wall, and then I need to head off to my appointment and then carry on doing this later on this afternoon. Apologies guys, my camera battery died. I think I was about here when it went, but we've completed the beginning part of the half bit of the wall. I'm so lucky that the last piece of wallpaper, I only had to cut a little bit off. But yeah, we are up to the halfway point. If I'm completely honest, I wouldn't recommend this product. It's all right for what I'm doing. I'm just seeing a lot of just a lot of errors. It's not a forgiving wallpaper. It's really hard to manage. I know that when I paint it, it's gonna like blend all those, you know, it's all gonna go away, it's gonna be fine, but it's not a beginning wallpaper. It's very much like intermediate level, which I don't even think I'm there with. I'll also say as well, if I turn you guys around, hi Dash, there's a lot of leftovers. One of them was my fault. I cut a bit too short. I could have got a bit more out of one of the rolls. But yeah, it's just because of where I'm doing, obviously up to, it's just a weird measurement. Maybe if I kept it more even, might have got a bit more out of it, but yeah, this is where we're up to. I'm really liking the look though. I will say the look of it is nice, and once I get that kind of border around, it's gonna look even better. Sorry, also, if I sound distracted, I'm listening out for a car because I've sold the bedside tables and she says she'll coming soon. So yeah, it's like, it's weird. I think if you're gonna do it, then just go for, you know, beadboard, actual hard beadboard, wooden beadboard. Like, just do it that way. It's good for now. I'm glad I've made the effort to do it. But again, as I said, not something I would recommend long term. So we're now tackling this bit, and I'm just pausing, A, because I'm waiting for this person to come, but B, that's kind of what I've got remainder left, which looks like a lot, but we're doing the full length of the chimney in this stuff, and it's a tall wall. I don't know if I will have enough. I also need to get more beadboard, and I also just feel like I need to kind of get out and do something. So I'm going to pause this for the moment, go and get more beadboard. Once the woman's come, I'm going to just get changed. I'm going to go and get more beadboard, go and look for the cutter, go and also get more of the wood. Sorry, I'm just like trying to think of everything. I think I'll wait to get the paint tomorrow. People are still polling it, so hopefully I'll have an answer very, very soon. I also think I might take a cheeky trip to IKEA and get the bedside tables I want, just have a fun project, maybe put Lee to work. I also need to see if I can actually wallpaper stood on that ladder, so fingers crossed I can. If not, then we are definitely having to hold off until Lee gets here because I'm not tall enough to do this. But yeah, this is kind of where we are at the moment. I will pick you guys up in a bit once everything's done, heading to the DIY store and whatnot. my rosacea has flared up like there is no tomorrow. Can you see all this? This is like really hot to touch. But we are finished. We have completed. I'm so happy because I am knackered. Apologies I don't film anymore like once I started going on this side of the room. If I'm honest, it became a bit of a die-hard situation where I was vest and leggings and I was like, no one needs to see that on camera. But I've completed the chimney and everything else and I'm done. I am done for the day. So let me show you what the finished results so far are. So we have this bit here, we have this bit here, and then we go into this stunning full chimney situation. I've just noticed that up there and I'm gonna quickly get the ladder back out and just stick that there. I couldn't get my brush further enough down to completely stick it there, but I'm hoping there's enough paste on top that it just holds it. I mean, when I do the wardrobe, that is gonna butt up there, so that should hold everything into place, but we need to make sure that it doesn't fall in the middle of the night in that situation. But yeah, this is stunning to look at. I feel like on camera it looks good, but like up close and personal it is annoying to me that I can see so many like imperfections. It was just really hard to do. In hindsight, should have done this with the other half, but he's not here tonight. Should have waited, but I didn't. I will say though, it is hard wallpaper to work with. It doesn't help that these walls are uneven. In hindsight, again, if we owned this house and I was doing this properly, I'd just spent hundreds on actual beadboard or MDF and just got it over and done with that way. But for what it is, it's going to work. Like I said, hopefully the colour will disguise it and kind of blend those imperfections. But I am happy with the results so far overall. Yeah, there's a few things that I can say meh to, but overall I'm really happy with the character it adds to the space. You may be wondering what that is up there. That is a light that used to be in the room that quite frankly was ugly. We took it down and covered it with the print, and as you can see, I've kept it out because I'm going to put a picture light up there, which is something I may order now on Amazon. Get it to come. What are you doing? Have you lost Blackberry? Do you want me to get it for you? Okay, 1 second, guys. Are you happy? You happy you got Blackberry? Can I continue showing everyone around the room? Okay, so yeah, this is where we're leaving it tonight and I'm off to bed. I will pick up the trim tomorrow. I have ordered a multi-tool that I hope comes in time. If not, I'm just going to use my box saw situation, but I am going to research tonight in terms of like how to cut, particularly to make sure that we get really nice corners here, particularly a nice corner here without too much like filling and stuff like that. And then yeah, once that's done, we've left it to dry for a good couple of hours, it's time to paint. My hoping is that if I get up early enough, get started, give it a good couple of hours while I'm doing other stuff, and then at least a coat of paint tomorrow night, or speak to the other half and whether or not we just do the trim tomorrow, leave it, and then come in painting on Sunday and get it all done then, because I would like to put the bedroom somewhat back together before the next week. Who knows? But yeah, this is where we are now. Like I said, I am gonna go downstairs. Actually, I'll talk to you on camera. So I'm gonna go downstairs and relax, have some water, try and like decompress. But also I'm thinking about building some IKEA furniture because it is only like 7 o'clock at night. It's like not late at all. But I have an electric drill, you see, so I feel like that's gonna take a lot of the effort out of putting them together. So I might do that in front of Gilmore Girls, but I'll pick you guys up bright and early tomorrow when we're working on the trip. Okay guys, good afternoon. I was about to say good morning, it's definitely the afternoon. It is the next day. I would say I'm somewhat more refreshed than I was when I left you last night, except I've had no night, like I've had no sleep whatsoever. None at all. I think it's due to the pillows that we have and immediately bought new ones. Lee reckons it has something to do with the fact that in our mid to late 30s we slept on a mattress on the floor. The closest I'm ever going to get to camping, by the way. But yeah, we are here to start the next part of the project. So we're going to tackle it with just the trim. Part of me wants to do some painting tonight, part of me also just knows it's not worth it and I should probably just get the painting done tomorrow. But I am excited. I will say the wallpaper is looking a lot better in the light, in the day. it seems to have got harder, the wallpaper, like as in more solid, as it's just sort of dried. It is quite delicate to deal with when it is wet. So yeah, it's not as kind of doom and gloom as I felt it was last night with it. It's looking big. I mean, still could do with some, you know, hiding with the paint, but I think it will, you know, it's looking good. So yeah, we are going to be working on the trim part of the project. So I've got all this over here. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of wood. I hopefully don't need all of them, but better to have more than less. I think that's the saying. I don't think that's the saying at all. But 5 pieces of trim. These are all going to go around the edge, obviously not on the chimney, but just around the edge of it. So I only have 1, 2 and a bit walls. So really the alcove in this doesn't really count as a wall. One of these will fit the length of the back wall there. So I think that's where I'm going to start first. I'd say that though, one of them is just a simple straight cut, so I definitely want to do that to boost my confidence up. I have got a shiny new tool to cut this wood with. I have seen loads of bloggers like McKenna and that lot have these and kind of swear by them for cutting these little bits, because I will admit, when you use like a box saw situation, it can be frustrating and not very accurate. Apparently this is like so easy to use. It looks a bit confusing at the moment. The only thing that is getting to me, and this is all to do with my neurodiversity, in case you didn't know, I am dyslexic, and I cannot work out where I need to measure stuff, as stupid as it sounds. I'm just literally looking at this going, so where do I like cut it so that it all meets at a nice point? I got my dad's DIY book out. He gifted me a DIY book kind of towards the end of everything, and it was like his book that he actually used to help build the extension for our house, and he said it was really useful. Had a look in there, and they said the one way you can do it is like put it, oh, take the door out and the other door, is you can put it up straight and then use that kind of tool where basically it bends around the pattern and then just cut the pattern out at the end so that it slots into place. I'm going to give this a go because I've always wanted to try this. I feel like it's not going to be as hard to work out how to do. I'm sure it's doing a 45-degree angle. I'm sure. I couldn't find a video on it whatsoever, so it's going to be hard. Maybe I'll just need to go and watch a McKenna video, see how she does it. Anywho, I'm confident we can get this done. So, actually, do you know who I'm going to watch? Emma Courtney. I'll link them down below. I'm sure you've heard them both, but I feel like she's used this recently, so I'm just going to see how she did her points. I just want like a really nice point, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be 45-degree, not a 90-degree angle, in order to get it looking nice and sharp and looking profesh. Only one of them is nice, where it is literally a straight cut, and then the rest of them are corners, and one of them is an out corner, so who knows what we're going to do there. And then to stick everything down, I did buy a fresh tube and then realised I had 2 of these. So I've got the fresh tube downstairs just in case these have dried out, but I've used these before. Both of them are no more nails, indoor use. Apparently you can put like a little dumbbell on them and they'll hold it. We're not putting dumbbells on this. Fully aware that the deposit for the house, once I use this, is like gone. I feel like if you've been watching these for a while, I think you've accepted with me that the full chance of me getting my deposit back is slim to none. So I feel like we're there, but this is what I'm going to use just to stick it, hold it there once it's doing its thing, walk away. But it is a case of a lot of just leaning and just waiting for it to do its thing. There's nothing really I can do to hold it up other than myself. So slow and steady takes the race. I'm going to put you guys on a time lapse again, probably not on the first measuring bit. Once I get the hang of it, you'll see me using the shiny tool, but not to begin with. But yeah, let's get started, guys. this is the easiest thing to use, show me you're working out, because this was like dire to use. Like at one point I was putting my knee down to cut this and it was going nowhere. So let's hope they'll take this back as a refund because it's no use to me. I've just got out the Dad Bible on how to do this, and the easiest thing I could find was mitering corners, as in cutting corners for your coving, as in your ceiling coving. I soon found out this is a miter cut, so we're learning something new every day. From this it says basically you have to cut it, so it says here to do an internal corner where the point is inwards, you have to cut left like that, right like that, and then vice versa. Now this also says if it's doing like a ceiling coving, you have to cut it in a way that obviously, like, because it's on an angle, because there's obviously two bits that are touching it and stuff. Now this is all fully touching the wall. Somehow doing this, I've created an outer corner. So these are not 100%, but essentially what I just did will work for the bit near the cupboard. Can you see how like they join like so? So that will do that bit. So I'm going to keep this bit because that should cut for that very small bit there, and that should be done. Should be. I still have no idea like how we do these measurements. I'm assuming the measurement is from the inward corner, so you would just measure this bit. We'll have a play. Thank goodness I bought more than enough. I feel like I'm going to use them. But this is a lot of math, and as I've discovered, this has got nothing to do with using this, more using the miter box. So this is just a bog standard one you can get from your local DIY store. You get this miter saw as well. In all honesty, I'm not loving this miter saw. I might move on to my hand saw to do the rest of them, but you're using this bit, so you're creating a 45-degree angle when the wood is flat rather than a 45-degree angle like this. You're doing it when it's that. This book also said though, and let me find it for you guys. So this part of the book was suggesting with skirting boards, as in on the bottom, not the coving at the top, that in order to cut it so that you can create the corners as such, you use this thing. I don't know if you guys can see it, but this is called, what's it called? A profile gauge. Profile gauge, in order to figure out what the pattern is, and then you just simply trim the pattern and butt it up that way. That might have been the better way to do it than using the miter stuff, but we're here now. We're gonna give it a go. Like I said, I feel like I've got it now. I feel like I've got it so I can create corners. At least I've got one corner somewhat situated. So we'll keep going with this, see where we get there. This is a lot more maths than I was hoping to use. But one piece is up and looking very pretty and drying. I'm just gonna do the rest of them. So wish me luck. finishing the vlog where I finishing this vlog where I started it. The trim is complete. Dash is coming up to inspect. Hi, Puddin. Yeah, everything is done now. I've put the room a bit back together so it's just a bit more movable in it. I've left all my tools sort of outside on the bench in the hallway. I'm hoping that Lee takes the hint and thinks, okay, she wants me to put them away because I'm just like knackered and done. But yeah, the trim is complete. I am so happy with how it's turned out. As I mentioned in my Instagram stories, which if you would like to go and check out the primary bedroom Reno like highlight, it's all there on my feed, link is down below. I'm never doing this type of work again unless it's literally like just straight wood. Like just absolutely like never doing this again. Calling a professional, have a newfound respect for my grandfather who was a carpenter. I'm just like, all right, mate, I understand now. But I am happy that at least I've done it and I can tick it and say I came, I saw, I conquered, and that's it. Never doing it again. But yeah, I'm glad we can tick off and say I can do trim work. I'm just choosing never to do it again in the future. Unless it's literally like a straight wall, one wall, then yes. If I have to do any miters, no, it's not happening. As I kind of said at the beginning of this video, I am finishing this vlog here. So I'm doing a bit of a part 1, part 2. Just as I was sort of tidying up everything, I just realized there was a lot of clips, there was a lot to process, and I think actually just dedicating one video to this is how you install beadboard, wallpaper and trim would be better than doing like one huge video that would be like 45 minutes plus of like painting it and stuff like that. Plus, let's face it, it's good to have a little bit of clickbait in there, so you know, come and see in the next vlog to see which colour we choose. So I'm splitting it into a part 1, part 2, but the part 2 will literally come out in a couple of days, so you do not have to wait that long at all. No sneaking over to Instagram though to see what colour I picked, because obviously not going to reveal that anytime soon. You are going to have to wait to see that vlog. So comment down below if you think we're going Clark Green or Lichen. Let me know your thoughts, and yes, so you'll see who the winners are in the next part. But I do hope you enjoyed this video. I do feel like I was a bit like, at the end of it, never use beadboard wallpaper ever again. As I kind of said, I think it's a great option if it's your only option. I think as well, if you were just doing one straight wall, I think you'd be absolutely fine. I'm dealing with a lot of corners, a lot of this, a lot of that. I also think that I could have had help with doing the chimney and it would have gone a lot smoother, but I did it myself because my other half wasn't here to help me with it. So it is all a bit kind of like, it's not my best work is the best way to kind of put it. It's not my best work, and I admit that. And sometimes this is the whole kind of beauty of showing you the behind the scenes and showing you kind of like, you know, real life. I'm not an expert, and I've never claimed to be an expert in any of this. I'm learning as I go along as well with you guys, and you know, it's hard wallpaper to use anyway, so I'm not the, you know, intermediate wallpaper installer. Hello, you can say hi baby. I'm not the like intermediate wallpaper installer like I thought I was. Still very much a beginner, and there is more I can learn. And yeah, next time I'm hiring professional or using beadboard, like actual hardboard, wooden beadboard. Right, should we go downstairs and build some more furniture that they'll see in the next vlog? So yeah, next vlog, we're gonna paint the colour on. I'm gonna install the light, build some furniture, maybe pick up some Facebook Marketplace because I've inquired about a few bits. So do make sure you subscribe if you're not, so you don't miss out on seeing those bits. Like this video if you did like it, comment down below, like I said, the colour you think I'm gonna go for. And yeah guys, I will see you guys very, very soon. Have a lovely rest of your week. Bye.